I'm Aviva Goldfarb, and I am from Chevy Chase, Maryland, and I have been developing recipes and cooking professionally for about 15 years. And during that time, I have taught probably thousands of people, mostly moms, to cook healthier food. When I first started making dinner for my family, I was overwhelmed with the stress of just deciding what to make and trying to fit cooking into my life. And then sometimes I would realize that I didn't have the right ingredients for whatever recipe I wanted to make. So I took a step back and I've developed a system where we plan a few easy, healthy recipes in advance. And that way we save tons of time and money and our sanity by shopping just once a week. The three things that I try to look for in recipes that I make and create are recipes that are quick, healthy, and family friendly. I love teaching people to make healthy recipes with more wholesome, natural ingredients like vegetables and fruit, whole grains, herbs and spices, and lean proteins. And these things can be the components of really easy and delicious meals that are super simple to do, and they actually can make the food taste better. So what we're making today is a crispy baked Parmesan chicken with roasted Brussels sprouts with some dried cranberries and freshly grated Parmesan cheese. The whole recipe is about 300 calories, including the side dish, whereas a major chain restaurant has chicken Parmesan for about 1,100 calories. Because usually when you make chicken Parmesan, it's fried in oil and it's smothered with fatty cheese, and it's served with a side of spaghetti, whereas here we're going to make a crispy coating and bake it with a light coating of flavorful cheese, just enough to make it still taste decadent. So one of the great things about this meal is the whole thing can be prepared start to finish in 30 minutes or less. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our Brussels sprouts roasting first, and then we're going to prep the chicken, and then everything will come out at the same time, hot and delicious. So the first thing we're going to do is I have some Brussels sprouts. They're just halved here, but if you have small ones, you don't even need to do that. And I'm going to toss them with about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. I like to do it with my hands because then they can really get coated. And then just a little bit of kosher salt sprinkled on there. And I'm going to get these in the oven. So what I have are some thinly pounded chicken breasts here, or you can use chicken cutlets. And I have whole wheat flour, but you can use whatever kind of flour you like, but you really won't notice a difference if you use whole wheat, and you get the extra benefits of the whole grain. So we dip it in the flour first and coat it, and then dip it in some egg. Get it nice and coated, but then let that extra egg drip off. What I really like is how crispy the coating gets, almost like a fried chicken or a fried chicken Parmesan. And then we dip it in panko, which is a nice, light, crispy kind of breadcrumbs. You can even find whole wheat panko sometimes, so if you like those, use those. And we're going to bake these first. So now I'm going to get these in the oven. So they're going to be baking with the Brussels sprouts. They're going to bake for just about 6 minutes at high heat. I'm going to take them out and we'll finish the recipe. So what we're going to do now is put on, actually I'm going to put on a little bit of pesto. This is optional, but we love the flavor of pesto. So I'm just going to spread about a teaspoonful of pesto on each breast or each chicken cutlet. And then do about a tablespoon of sauce. This is fresh tomato sauce that I got at the farmer's market, but whatever tomato sauce your family likes. And then we take some of these fresh herbs. I have chopped up basil and sage here. And again, you can use dried herbs, but I really love the flavor of these fresh garden herbs, which actually came out of my garden. And some of the cheese. And this is part skim mozzarella and Parmesan combined together. And you can see we have plenty of cheese here. So it's still going to taste rich and decadent. I'm going to put these back in the oven for 6 to 8 minutes until it's all melted and the chicken looks nice and browned. And then the Brussels sprouts will be ready at the same time. These are ready to go. And so what I'm going to do, simplest thing, I'm just going to take these naturally sweetened dried cranberries, sprinkle them on there, and then I'm going to take a little bit of, you can either buy grated Parmesan cheese, or this is kind of fun, also a fun thing for kids to do if they're around. Just grate a little bit, like maybe a teaspoon. And then I'm just going to toss it all together a little bit, get the flavors in there. Those are ready to go and so delicious. These Brussels sprouts turn my Brussels sprouts detesting family into Brussels sprouts lovers. It's actually better than the Italian restaurant that you're going to take your family out to. Light, crispy, delicious, and still decadent tasting.